Hey, Sophia.
Hey, Emmanuel.
I'm super excited.
Why?
Because
Me too.
it's almost Halloween, and that
this is
means
true.
it's almost time to get scared, to get spooked.
Oh, it's the spooky season.
It's the spooky
It's
season.
the spooky season.
And I'm even more excited because there's another way for me to get spooked and also get a little bit of that superhero kick that I like all the time.
That's true. That's basically what our pod is entirely about.
Superheroes, and
Soups.
that is by watching the Hulu original series Hellstrom. Just in time for Halloween.
Yeah.
It's suspenseful, mysterious, scary, dark, chilling. Has dry humor and
Oh
it's
my
edgy. But there's
gosh.
also some superhero action in it.
All of this in one show.
All of this in one show. It's from Marvel Television. It's Hellstrom,
Wow.
based on some characters from comic books. And I don't have to wait anymore because
No.
it's now streaming. All episodes are streaming on Hulu right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, we got to go watch it.
Let's go right now.
Okay, let's go. Oh, wait, let me put my phone on vibrate.
Okay. I'm recording.
Oh, my fingy. Oh, see? It's a good thing.
Welcome to another episode of... I do not like how excited I sounded.
I know. Every time we start, you start like that.
Yeah, I sound like a YouTuber.
No, you don't.
Hey, everyone. Like and subscribe. And remember to go to my
Cringe,
Twitch.
cringe,
I don't know.
cringe.
Welcome
My
to...
OnlyFans.
Welcome to another episode of Countdown to Infinity, a Marvel's Avengers podcast. I know what you're thinking. Why is this still happening? There are no MCU
Why?
movies coming out this year.
Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, you're thinking that?
I am thinking that. Why are we doing this?
Okay, no. We basically watched all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies before Infinity War and Endgame came out last year. And we continue to talk about the MCU even though there are no movies because there's definitely plenty of news and still fun things to talk about. We even play a really exciting quiz trivia game. I need to stop calling it a game. It's not a game.
Okay.
We take a really fun quiz at the end of all these episodes.
Yes, we do.
And yeah, my name's Emmanuel.
My name is Sophia.
I lost track of. We're sitting oddly, I think, this time.
What do you mean?
Like we're both facing the same direction, and that's weird.
Do you want to look into my eyes as
No.
we speak?
I'll actually actively avoid you.
Yeah, let's sit back to back, actually.
And if you haven't guessed from that, that's my girlfriend,
Oh my gosh, every
Sophia.
time. Yeah, I'm his friend. That's a girl named Sophia.
We are lovers.
We are in love with podcasting.
Wow.
Just
so
kidding.
this is
No,
the
yeah.
only this is the only thing keeping us together.
Yeah.
That's very reassuring.
Hanging on by a string.
So if you're wondering why we're still podcasting, it's
Yep.
because if we stop, this stops. Me and you. Let's start.
All right.
Let's talk about some news. Let's talk about some Marvel Cinematic Universe news. I gotta say, the most exciting thing is these. No, sorry.
I looked over and Piglet is still looking
Oh
at
yeah, we have a little. So
Sorry.
I'm really excited about all this multiverse stuff that's happening.
Oh my gosh. It's just a bunch of setups, to be honest. I feel like mentally they're just preparing us because we need something to look forward to right now. We need a light at the end of the tunnel.
And it seems like we are going to be getting a couple movies
Yeah.
right off the bat filled with multiverse, multiple superheroes.
Right.
Almost Avengers-esque cameos, I'm sure. But our first piece of news that we're going to talk about this week is the fact that Benedict Cumberbatch has joined the cast of Spider-Man 3.
Officially. I feel like we talked about this.
Oh, did we really?
Yeah, we did.
I lost track. I lose track because we talked about Multiverse of Madness and how there were so many actors that
Yeah.
are going to take part in it. And the Spider-Man movie is also fixing to be that way, especially with Jamie Foxx as Electro.
Yes, you know what? I feel like maybe that's what we talked about more versus Benedict coming into the picture. But I feel like I knew about this news. So maybe we did talk about it.
You also text him. You also
That's true. That's
text
true.
Benedict.
Ben and I are really, really close. Cumberbatch and we're just two peas in a pod, honestly.
Doctor Strange seems like Smaug, the dragon. That's him.
Like what?
Doctor Strange seems like the person, the key to all of this multiverse stuff. Because he goes into dimensions, he can travel astrally. I feel like he's also going to be a part of WandaVision, which takes place in an alternate reality, it seems. So I feel like we're going to see him be the vehicle to kind of describe what all these universes are and the change that's happening.
He's definitely one of my favorite characters in the MCU, if not my top man aside from Tony.
Wow. But, your top man.
My top man. And that's why Ben and I are just so close, you know?
I'm more of a bottom man. It's a joke.
Okay. But yeah, no, I feel I feel like he definitely deserves these types of roles because his character, I think in the comic books, plays such a huge part in tying everything together as well. So it just makes sense to bring him on in.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely excited for Spider-Man 3 and then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness because these are gateways into what sounds like these offshoot movies that may not take place in the MCU universe we've seen already, including Blade, which is a vampire adventure that's probably not going to take place, I assume, in the same universe. And we'll have to really see. Fantastic Four, X-Men, all that.
And, when it comes to shooting, I feel like they can do a lot of it green screen because it is a lot of, jumping dimension to dimension. And they had to use a lot of green screen for Doctor Strange and the Spider-Man movies, too, anyway. So I feel like these would probably be easier to shoot during this COVID time.
COVID time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's two things, I think.
They can honestly just shoot it via Zoom.
Oh, no. Are you talking about like an MCU Zoom movie? Yeah. Oh, boy. That'll be really interesting.
MC Zoom.
MC Zoom. WandaVision and is already finished shooting.
Right.
Falcon Winter Soldier, She-Hulk, all these things are going into production. Multiverse of Madness is going into production.
See,
Thor,
that's what I'm saying.
Ragnarok, all these things are ramping up, and you're right. Like it's a lot of you have to either shoot outside in the wide open or shoot on a soundstage where with everyone's quarantined.
I was going to say with a selected few that are chosen to be monitored and go through all those precautions.
I think the thing that really helps them is the fact that they're not filming these movies in the United States. These are all being filmed in New Zealand, in the UK, places that have a better handle on COVID than we do.
Right.
So I assume just generally they're already safer in a weird way.
I agree.
Because they're not going down to the Walmart, here in America. It's kind of weird, but I am excited and I hope that they do take the proper precautions. We also hear a lot of news from movies shutting down that aren't MCU. Jurassic World had to shut down for a little bit. They did for a little bit. The Batman movie shut down for a little bit. But we don't really hear those kinds of things from any of this MCU stuff. Maybe they're just better at keeping it secret. I don't know. We haven't heard yet. They're shooting all these things at once for Marvel, and we haven't heard that any of them have taken a break.
It's either secret or just the way that you mentioned how a lot of them are being shot across the seas and not in the United States. Yeah. Because I feel like Universal, is it Universal that does all the Jurassic Park stuff? Yeah. Maybe they are having to stick to their, in states on campus type.
Well, Jurassic World, I think, might be in the UK, but the Batman movie.
Batman for sure.
Maybe that's also in the. I don't know, but no matter where they are,
right?
There's a lot going on. It's very interesting times.
Crazy. What a time.
Well, let's talk about.
Tell me what's the next one?
Rebranding, and this is a lot of. Okay, I just want to say that we do have partners with a streaming service, and this is not part of that, but we're going to talk about a little bit about Disney Plus because Disney has rebranded. I mean, they own all of the 20th Century Fox Marvel stuff like X-Men and Fantastic Four, and everyone was wondering how they were going to release those on Disney Plus because obviously their Marvel MCU universe is super important and ongoing to them, and they didn't want to confuse fans to show, here's this Spider-Man movie and then ours, or here's X-Men, but it's not part of our other Marvel stuff. So now they've given a name to the older Marvel movies that aren't a part of the MCU, and they're calling it Marvel Legacy. So on Disney Plus, you can now watch Marvel Legacy films like all of those X-Men movies, Fantastic Four, I don't know if Blade is there. I don't think so. That's not for kids. But all of those movies are now considered legacy. And I just want to say that's really interesting. And it's something really similar that happened with Star Wars. A lot of Star Wars stuff, when Disney took over, stopped becoming quote unquote canon or part of the actual story. Mm-hmm. And they gave them a different name too, but it's really interesting to see how Marvel takes all this X-Men stuff and or the stuff made before.
Do you think they're going to have their own separate category on Disney Plus?
I believe that's what's happening now. So you'll hear Marvel Legacy, and anytime you hear Marvel Legacy, it's all of the stuff that's not before, Disney. Which is interesting.
So are the Spider-Mans going to be there?
I don't think so, because those are Sony.
Oh, that's right.
The 20th century. So X-Men's probably the biggest stuff. Fantastic Four probably second biggest, because there were a bunch. There's 4 Fantastic Four movies. 4. But yeah, X-Men Legacy.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. But here's another piece of Disney Plus news. Again, this is not a Disney Plus podcast.
Right.
But now Disney has given you a couple ways to watch all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. And we were thinking about this actually on Countdown to Skywalker, the Star Wars podcast, a way of doing this. Mm-hmm. But now you have different viewing orders. If you want to binge all of the MCU movies, you can watch them through the phases. So that's the release date, like in theaters.
Yes.
So phase 1, phase 2,
by
phase
date.
3, by release date. Yeah,
by
you
year.
watch them in that order, which is... isn't necessarily the way that they happen, because some of the movies take place before.
Yes.
Or you can now watch them in timeline order. So that means you start with Captain America, then you watch Captain Marvel, then you watch Iron Man.
So you don't start out with Iron Man. The way that we watched it was starting off with Iron Man.
The release order.
Like the release orders. But we have not done them
chronological.
Maybe we should do them off of story now.
Well, now it's easy on Disney Plus, because they have now a playlist in that order that will automatically just go in the order that they're supposed to.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe
happen.
We should do that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm down. I think
we haven't done. I don't think we've done that.
We were when we
first, were gonna try for Endgame. Yeah, but then we ended up, because we had already started doing it. And also Endgame was release date.
After Infinity War, we decided to do Endgame character by character, because we were thinking, how many of these people are going to be gone?
Yeah, that's true.
Be gonzo. But it was something we talked about. But then we're such big fans of behind the scenes stuff that watching it in the order of they release, you can talk a little bit more about how Marvel changes depending on this.
You can definitely tell.
Yeah, Thor: The Dark World was
their production value, honestly.
Oh yeah, production value, and then also just focusing on certain characters. You obviously get like Thanos in a lot of behind the scenes in order.
Right.
But yeah, I would be down. Would you watch it in the order that they are supposed to be happening in the timeline?
Of course I would. I mean, especially because whenever because before this pod, I had never seen any of. Well, I scratch that. I had seen maybe 2 of the actual Avengers movies or MCU movies. I had never seen any of them, and that's what inspired me, I guess, to do it and to do this whole podcast, was because I just never had seen them, and I never had the time really, or the accessibility to see all of them. And then now here we are with our streaming services, and then here now is Disney Plus making it even one step easier, putting it in order for us already. I know. Hello,
it's a lot of movies to watch, but we've done it, and you've probably done it
already,
so it's not too crazy to think about.
And I remember thinking about this too whenever we were doing it by release date, because I was like, oh well, which one comes first? And then whenever whenever I saw Captain America, I was like, oh, this takes place like way before
Nazis,
right? And so that's when we kind of had the talk of like, oh, you're right, like all the stories eventually come together anyway, but yeah.
And this is also something, Black Widow, which is going to come out the soonest, the newest movie to come out sometime next year. That is, I think, a prequel. So that doesn't necessarily take place after Endgame.
Right.
So yeah, I think that makes sense if you did have a way to watch them in the order.
Characters.
I am excited too, because if they have now these Disney Plus shows and people have questions, they may be able to just reference where the Disney Plus stuff happens.
Right.
But I will say that Disney should do this for the Star Wars stuff. They have so many Star Wars movies now. Some of them are prequels like Solo or Rogue One.
Oh, yes.
There's even a Clone Wars show, which all takes place between 2 of the movies. And if they did this, that would be insane. But I think that also sets them apart. There's no other streaming service that will do this.
Right.
Get all the movies and put them in the order you're supposed to watch them, like for the Lord of the Rings or something.
Well, there was Harry Potter for a second.
That's true.
And HBO, but that was just because they had bought or rented or whatever. They had them on
and I don't think they do anymore. Like,
no,
it's
they
such
don't.
and with Disney,
but that's
these
for
movies,
different reasons.
they own
it's not for
forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that is going to be, so 2 things on Disney Plus. You can look at Marvel Legacy, which is all the old stuff,
right,
and then watch all of the MCU stuff in chronological order, which again is probably a good watch. Like, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to just recap by talking about all of the movies we're still waiting for. Okay. Before we play our game quiz.
Mm-hmm.
These are the movies coming out and where their release dates are as of right now. Okay. Just to remind everyone. So no movies in 2020. Next year is going to be insane, and the year after that is going to be insane because now there's a backlog of movies that are done and about to be finished.
It's just going to be release.
The most Marvel MCU movies ever will release in those 2 years.
Of course.
And it's going to even rival the 3 releases that came out, I think, last year.
Disney is going to freak out because these are just the Marvel movies that they're announcing. These aren't even like
any
complete
of the
Disney movies because they still got Pixar, they still got regular Disney. You know, they're working on
there's
stuff.
a Star Wars movie coming out in 2 years.
There's more Star Wars stuff.
I will say before I give you the dates these release, this is all tentative, and Black Widow has already moved 4 times. So
that's true.
Who knows? This may not even happen. It may be even further back.
You know what? I remember a couple months ago we were like, in November for Christmas time. And then here we are.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we may not. Who knows?
Just
so
here
are the movies. Black Widow is slated for May 7th of 2021.
Close to my birthday.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which I feel like we haven't talked about a lot. But
we have not, actually.
July 9th of 2021.
We need to talk about that more.
We will. I think because they're filming it now, there's a lot of things.
Hush, hush.
Hush, hush. Eternals is now coming out November 5th.
Kumail, baby.
Now, this is interesting because Eternals was supposed to come out after Black Widow, and now it's pushed even further back.
Right.
But I was actually on a Zoom with the director of this movie on Tuesday, Chloe Zhao, and because she has another movie called Nomadland, which might win an Oscar.
Chloe? How are you?
She's really fantastic.
She's great.
But I feel like the themes of that movie are geared towards the holidays.
Okay.
Because it is a large Angelina Jolie, Kumail, like it's a large cast, and there's a family element or something. So maybe that's perfect for the holidays.
Have they started shooting that yet?
It's all done.
It's already done.
It was supposed to come out next month, but now it's already next year. But yeah, so that's November 5th. And then the final movie in 2021 is Spider-Man Homecoming 3. That's December 17th, 2021.
Wow.
I am excited about this because we just revealed that there's all kinds of multiverse stuff happening in it, and they're going to start filming it now.
Yeah.
Then in 2022, Thor: Love and Thunder is coming out on February 11th, just in time for Valentine's Day.
Love and Thunder.
That's the Taika Waititi movie.
Oh my God, of course, Taika.
That Natalie Portman
I don't know if anybody knows this, but what up, Taika? I love you. Okay, I'm just going to throw that out there.
This is the really interesting movie, or not interesting. This is going to be. I'm really excited for Thor: Love and Thunder, with reports of Jane Foster becoming maybe the female Hulk. Who knows?
Okay.
And then Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness comes out the next month, March 25th. And then for the summertime, and now this is super tentative, and again, this is 2022. There's no news on any of this, and there's a lot that's changing. But Black Panther 2 and Captain Marvel 2 come out in May and July of 2022. Obviously, those 2 movies haven't even been finished. Written. I don't think they're written yet.
Wow.
I don't think they've been filmed, but that is in 2 years. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 Marvel movies in the next 2 years. This pod will probably be podcasting a lot.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, so that's what it looks like, at least right now. Again, we'll have to see I would think that in January, February, they're going to start to see what the box office will look like and whether or not Black Widow might come out. Because I don't know if y'all know this, I think Cineworld and Regal are fully closed until the end of the year.
Yes,
so
I know.
AMC is still open. Its drive-ins are still okay, but they're who knows?
Sad.
We may not get these movies out. They will have to be released in theaters. We actually looked into that. Someone asked us can't they just release these on Disney Plus? But no, they can't.
Mm-mm.
Some of these movies have contractually obligated theatrical releases. So
yes, yeah.
even if nobody sees them and then they're on Disney Plus in a month,
yeah.
they have to be released in cinemas first.
They gotta.
But yeah, so we're looking forward to that. All right, well, hey, it's time for us to do our quiz. Are you excited?
I am excited.
Here's the quiz.
These are honestly my favorite parts of these podcasts because I never really take a look. Well, because that's true. I never really talk to you. We're usually miles apart in our apartment or in our house.
We avoid each other
at all costs.
Yeah.
By apartment and house, I mean you're in your apartment. I'm in my house. So
you're socially distancing emotionally.
Yes.
From me. Mm-hmm. So here is the quiz. It's design a shirt. You're gonna like this. It's design a shirt you'd never wear, and we'll reveal which Disney Marvel mix you are.
Okay. Like superhero, like two superheroes? Or
you will get a Disney character, and then you'll get a Marvel character.
I see. Okay.
So, wait, hold on. Design a shirt you'd never wear. So you have to
never wear. So it's going to be one that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So do you want to read the questions?
Well, yeah. Oh, I lost it.
Did you really?
I did. Okay, but hang on. Let me look for it one more time.
No, I can airdrop it to you. Wow.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I jinxed it, didn't I?
Here,
I was
it's
like,
gonna pop
I
up. Don't touch anything. There you go.
I didn't. Okay, yeah. Design a shirt you'd never wear, and we'll reveal which Disney Marvel mix you are. So the uglier, the better. And this is by the usual spam 22. She or he, they are a community contributor. So thank you.
This is like a Disney themed episode. I feel
this is the story of a girl.
I'm getting that vibe.
So, first question. Oh, there's only 5, so this is relatively short. What colors will you be... Oh, sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
Will your shirt
There are only 5 questions.
I'm so sorry. I'm really drunk. No, just kidding. What colors will your shirt be? So, there's neon pink, brown, light brown, and green. All the neon colors, or muddy brown. Oof, okay.
So, the opposite of what
I like.
Of what you like. Okay.
Of what I normally would wear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we could say what we pick. Let's do it.
Okay.
I picked neon pink.
Yeah, I picked neon pink too.
Wow.
I don't wear neon pink by itself too often unless I'm going to like a rave or like somewhere where it's appropriate. But like normally, no.
Yeah, and I actually think that brown looks nice. Okay. And depending on what you're wearing, the neon colors may look fine.
And I have rainbow neon stuff, but that's for my work because I'm a teacher. So, and number 2 says add an accessory. So we're gonna do glitter, lots of frills, neon heart decals, or lots of tiny glittery bows.
I don't like any of this, so this is tough for me.
I do not like frills because I'm short and they make me look even shorter, especially if on a shirt. So I'm gonna go frills.
I'm gonna say little glittery bows. Okay. I just have never worn them.
Number 3 says, pick a length for your shirt. Super cropped, regular, or thigh length.
Can you describe what super cropped and cropped? What's
a crop top is one that probably shows your belly button, like you have midriff.
Super cropped?
Super cropped is probably just going to be right under your breasts.
Oh my gosh.
Is what I'm assuming.
Okay. Well, hey, if I have little bows, that leaves very little room for them.
I'm going to go super cropped just because, no.
And then thigh length, that's like super big?
So thigh length is like to your thighs, the length of your thighs.
But that's a shirt that goes all the way down.
Yes,
there.
A shirt. So it's like a long shirt.
I'm just going to do cropped, regular cropped.
Okay.
Not interested.
How long are your sleeves? Extra long sleeves, off the shoulder. It's a tube top, which means there are no sleeves at all.
Oh, wow.
Just short sleeves for me, please.
Where did the term tube top come from?
Because it looks like a tube, and you just go into it.
Oh, I thought it was like, you're going to go tubing. Here's a shirt. This is a good shirt for when you go tubing.
It's just literally a cylinder piece of fabric that you just put yourself into. So it's like your tube.
So it looks like a tube.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go extra long sleeves just because I already put that it's going to be a super crop top. And I think it's going to be a disgusting combo.
I'm going to do off the shoulder, just one shoulder off. The crop top, one over, all those bows and pink. I'm looking hot. I'm looking like a snack.
And then add one more random thing. So buttons, pom-poms, a random hole, or I'm good.
A random hole sounds nice. That's the title of your sex tape.
Funny.
So
is
right. I'm good.
Yeah, right. I'm good. Okay, I don't know if I want buttons or if I want pom-poms. I don't want a hole, just because I've already got a crop top. Like,
and let's be honest, Sophia, you already have a hole.
I got like 4.
Let's see, butt.
My virgina. My mouth. And my belly button.
You have no eyes, ears, or nose.
Okay, all right.
Which is interesting, and I think that's weird.
We prioritize.
Get that checked out, okay?
So, okay, thanks.
And also,
is
your belly button like a hole?
I mean, you can.
Is it inside? Goes into.
It can hold water. What's the definition of a hole?
Like, I don't think that you can touch your
swimming hole. There's no like.
What?
A swimming hole is like.
Oh, that's true. That's a hole.
Yeah, it holds water.
I see what you're saying. It doesn't have to be like a hollow hole.
No.
Yeah, it could just be a hole. All right, cool.
I'm glad we clarified.
Yeah.
All right, so what are you going to do? You chose holes?
I'm going to pick hole. We're talking about holes. I'm doing hole.
I think I'm going to go pom-poms just because I don't like them.
Ooh. I got my combo. All right, let me do mine first.
I love mine so much.
My combo of... I obviously made a disgusting shirt, but my combo is I have Iron Man and Tiana.
Ooh, yours is a good one.
I love Tiana. She's maybe my favorite princess.
Yeah.
You are definitely a powerful combination. You're a force to be reckoned with, an extremely strong person. Just remember that it's okay to ask for help sometimes. Hey, I'm just going to remember that.
Okay.
But I like my combo.
Are you ready for mine? Mine is so
best.
exciting.
Tell me.
I got Gamora and Rapunzel.
Oh my goodness.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're determined, optimistic, and just a little bit stubborn. 100%. You've got a lot of empathy for others and have big dreams. That's nice. I love mine.
Yeah, you love Tangled.
Pretty spot on. I do love her personality, yes. I don't like how naive she is, but that's okay because I got Gamora's side too, so I'm good.
I like Rapunzel, but what's the deal with her hair?
It's
too
magical.
long.
She can't cut it.
All right, well, that's our episode this week. I hope you had a lot of fun, and I hope that somebody draws that shirt we described. It's disgusting.
Yeah, if anybody is really artistic and you want to check out our shirts, or if Gucci, if you're listening,
Gucci, if you're listening.
These are I'm gonna own the rights to this shirt, so you can't steal it.
Well, hey, today, before we talk about our individual personal plugs, today is Columbus Day / Indigenous, mostly Indigenous Peoples Day.
I was about to say, ew.
But it also marks a really special time in the country because tomorrow, on Tuesday, at least in Texas, and I know a lot of other places, it marks the first day of early voting.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of you may think, well, why can't I just vote on Election Day? You can.
Of
and why don't I just mail in
a
ballot? You can. But early voting is, I think, one of the best ways to know that your vote counts.
Yes,
and
appropriately.
That you don't have to wait in a crazy long line.
Absolutely not.
Election Day is when a lot of people go to vote.
Yes.
And if the systems fail, which they oftentimes do, you may be waiting hours and hours and hours.
Right.
So if you're in the United States, I want to plug voting, but also early voting. I just love early voting.
If you have the chance.
If you know it's going to be a safe place, if you're doing it, and I know that all NBA stadiums are turned into voting places, so hopefully you're in a place that has a good NBA stadium.
Yes.
We'll have to see if maybe the Lakers will have a championship up there. I'm not a Lakers fan, just saying. But
okay.
You may be able to go to that stadium and vote. And when you early vote, it means that your vote is counted right when they're tallied on election night and not later or provisional or rejected. And I just want to suggest a lot of people, if you're voting by mail, a lot of states have different rules and some rules are insane and your vote can be thrown away.
Yep.
Because your signature didn't match your driver's license.
Disqualified, yes.
Or you didn't put it in the secondary envelope, so it's disqualified. There's so many things that can happen. And
so many technical things.
And you don't get a call. It's not like someone calls you and says, hey, your vote didn't count.
Yeah.
So in person.
It's a very strict system.
It's a strict system.
And you want to do all that you can in order to ensure that you are accounted for, especially now, because it's a very important time, we feel. So just, get out there, be safe as much as you can, obviously. Like, we would never want anybody to put themselves at risk. But if you do have the opportunity to, why not?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, why not?
Do it. Well, Sophia, now time for personal plugs. What do you have to plug?
Nothing much. Just, thank you so much to everyone for listening to the pod. And if you can or want to or have an option to, go ahead and help us out on Patreon. You get a bunch of exclusive stuff stuff from us. It's very nice. Also, you can follow me on Twitter if you'd like at Simply Sophie, or at _Simply Sophie, SimplySofiee.
Yes.
It's me.
I want to echo going to patreon.com/StuffandPod. Support the pod there. There's exclusive stuff, and we really rely on it. It's the only thing keeping us running, especially when we have to pay for all this remote recording stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
we have to pay for Zencaster and Zoom now. What's the deal with that? But I will say it's keeping us safe, so we're happy about that. So yeah, go to Patreon, support the pod.
Right.
And that's all I have. Listen to all the other Dolphin Pod shows. And a lot of our hosts have birthdays, so just...
yes, happy belated birthday, John.
It was Andrew's birthday
and
just a couple weeks ago. It was John's a couple days ago. Lex's, and it's Randy's.
And Randy.
Tomorrow, or when this comes out.
Happy birthday, Randy.
To all of y'all. And it was Josh's as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's right. Happy birthday, Josh.
Oh, my gosh.
Ours is like way far from everybody.
I know. What were our parents doing? What were they doing?
Oh, they were getting to it.
They were at different orgies.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have a good week, everyone.
Bye.